We'll be right back with Drew Soicher.
MSU's date for Saturday's football homecoming showed up on time, but just did not come to dance, I'm afraid. The Purdue Boilermakers were completely outclassed at Spartan Stadium on Saturday, crowning the Michigan State Spartans homecoming kings. Enough talking about it. Show it to me. Spartans played giveaway early. Todd Crumb's fumble set up a Purdue field goal, and it's 3-zip. MSU comes right back. Bobby Morris high steps one in for 6, and MSU is up for good.
I went to my right, and I was going outside, and I looked inside, and it was wide open, so I just put a little fondue on, hit the end there.
Enter Lorenzo White. Number 34 shows us he's back with his first touchdown in a month. 80 yards and 2 touchdowns on the day for Lowe. Now, Purdue used 3 quarterbacks on the day. MSU's John Buddy would have preferred if they just kept this guy in. 24-3 State at the half. Third quarter action now. Dave Urema just hanging out. Then he hangs one up. 40 yards later, it's Willie Boyer for the touchdown. Fourth quarter, Urema goes over the 200-yard mark with a 53-yarder to Mark Ingram. All green and white on Saturday. State wins it 37-3. Following Michigan State's embarrassing loss to the University of Michigan 3 weeks ago, quarterback David Urema told me the Spartans would not lose another football game this year. I am beginning to believe him. Hello again, everybody. I'm Drew Soicher, and that's more like it. The defense wasn't really anything spectacular, but who really cares when your offense puts 52 points on the scoreboard? This week's victim, the Minnesota Golden Gophers. Trailing 7-zip, the Spartans tie it up. Lorenzo White takes it inside the 5, but hurts his ankle, and he was through for the game. From there, it was Craig Johnson goes around right end, and MSU was on the board 7-all. Enter freshman Blake Ezor. We've heard about him. Now we see what he can do. The Spartans lead 14-10 at the half. What a night for Urema. Davey perfect on 25 of 30 tries for over 300 yards, twice to Andre Rison for touchdowns. MSU scores 38 points in the second half, 52-23 your final. Pistons played in front of 30,000 fans for the second time this season yesterday. Both times have been at the Pontiac Silverdome, both times against Western Conference powers. Both games were weekend contests, and both times they lost. Yesterday, the Los Angeles Lakers did the duty. 10th straight time the Lakers have beaten the Pistons, but it wasn't easy. To the Dome. Lakers are just too good. Kelly Trapika was back in the starting lineup. Looked pretty good. Here he hustles in 2 of his 15 on the day. Lakers are used to the big crowds. Michael Cooper quiets them with this 3-point bomb, giving LA a 6-point lead after 1. Pistons come out strong in the second, though. Let's give Kelly an assist as 6'1" Vinnie Johnson jams in the miss. Pistons by 2 after 2. Third quarter now. Good ball movement as John Long finds Kent Benson for the bucket inside. Bill Lambier went wild in this period. Here he gets 2 of his Piston-high 27 points by bringing in the garbage. Lakers are just too good to let the Pistons run away with it. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar hits the hook and joins Wilt Chamberlain as the only man ever to score 31,000 points in a career. Yes, Magic Johnson does make the highlight package. This 3-point play put the Lakers up by 2 points after 3. Pistons got a lead up to as many as 7. That's when Kareem got mad. He leads a fourth quarter LA outburst, putting the Lakers up by 3 points to stay. Pistons did give it one last shot, but it was just too little, too late, which is never too good against the Lakers. Tough loss to swallow. Pistons fall 2.5 back from Milwaukee. One more note, the Spartan hockey team took the total goal series from Michigan Tech this weekend. Now they'll advance to the CCHA semifinal round at Joe Louis Arena this Friday night against Ohio State. And that's sports. Tom is back with the complete weather picture right after this. Juan Berenguer scheduled to pitch tonight as the Tigers try for an unbelievable 33 up and 5 down. The next milestone to shoot for, if you're wondering, is the best 50-game record ever for the major leagues, and that's an impressive 41-9. It's possible. Tonight's contest is a 10:35 p.m. starter out in California. 3 games played in the American League last night. Boston tops Cleveland by a mark of 6-3, and it was Chicago over KC 8-4. Toronto Blue Jays keep winning. They moved to 11 games over 500 last night by topping Minnesota 3-2 in Minnesota. They're still 8 games behind Detroit, though, in second place of the American League East. And just think, only 125 more games to go until the playoffs. Bouncing over to basketball, the Milwaukee Bucks refused to say die in the National Basketball Association's Eastern Conference Finals. They held off a strong fourth quarter charge by Larry Bird and the Boston Celtics yesterday for a 122-113 victory in Milwaukee. Bucks got 22 points from reserve Paul Pressey and another 20 from the gunner Junior Bridgman, which proved to be enough to overcome Larry Bird's 32 for the Celts. Boston now leads the best-of-7 series, 3-1, with Game 5 scheduled for Wednesday night at the Boston Gardens. In the West, the Los Angeles Lakers lead the Phoenix Suns by that same 3-1 mark in their best-of-7 series. Game 5 of their series, also Wednesday evening in Los Angeles. And the Lakers' Magic Johnson can add another trophy to his collection. Yesterday, he was named Pro Basketball's MPP. And no, I did not mispronounce that. It's called the Most Pivotal Player Award for all-around excellence. The 6'9" former Spartan led the league with 13.1 assists this year, in addition to averaging 17 points and 7 rebounds per contest. The NBA's MVP award for Most Valuable Player, more familiar to most of us, will be given later this month, probably either to Larry Bird of the Boston Celtics or our all-favorite, Bernard King of the New York Knickerbockers. And sticking to basketball, the biggest fine in NBA history was handed out yesterday for tampering with the biggest college basketball players around today. NBA Commissioner David Stern fined the Portland Trail Blazers $250,000 yesterday for improper contacts, he put it, with Houston's Akeem Abdul-Olajuwon and Georgetown's Patrick Ewing. Stern did not take away their first-round draft pick, although, and should Portland win tomorrow's coin flip with the Houston Rockets for the first pick in the NBA draft, well, they'll end up with Olajuwon, and the $250,000 fine will be all worth it. Not too much happening on the local sports scene, but MSU baseball slugger Mike Eddington was named the Big Ten Designated Hitter of the Year by the college conference coaches yesterday. The league's Most Valuable Player award went to the University of Michigan's fine shortstop Barry Larkin. That's all for sports on this Tuesday evening. Weather's on deck, so please stick around. Edmonton Oilers, winless in their last 15 games against the New York Islanders coming into this year's Stanley Cup Finals, have now made it 3-1, a commanding lead in the best-of-7 championship series after beating the New Yorkers 7-2 in Edmonton again last night. Islanders always do a great job on Wayne Gretzky as we go to the video if we can. We'll stand by in the video. Islanders always tough on Wayne Gretzky, but everyone knows that that cannot last forever. Watch as his teammate Spock, number 99, streaking down the middle. It's a one-on-one situation, and when Wayne Gretzky's involved, folks, that means 1-0 Oilers. His first goal of the series gives the home crowd a chance to show their appreciation. It was his only goal of the game. Now each team is 2 men short. Big mistake by the defending champions. They wrap it around the boards, and it ends up in the stick of a speedy Mark Messier. He'll find a hole between Billy Smith's pads, and it's 3-1 Oilers after 1 period. Why has New York won 4 straight Stanley Cups? Islanders are a great checking team, right? What happened? 2 Oilers all alone in front of the net, and Lindstrom smacks it in to start the rout. 4-1 Edmonton in the second period. And here we see the importance of forechecking again. Watch this. Edmonton, a thunderous check in the corner. Puck is taken away from Dave Langeman, goes out in front for Paul Coffey right here. He does a flip and still manages to get it in. Again, the final 7-2. Oilers go up 3-1 and can win the cup at home Saturday night with 1 more. In baseball, the Tigers had the day off yesterday, and the second-place Toronto Blue Jays took advantage of it. Willie Aikens, just back from drug rehab, goes 2 for 3 in his first home game as a Blue Jay. This is his 7th inning single, with Toronto trailing the Chicago White Sox by a score of 2-1. Mitch Webster comes in to run for Willie, goes to second on a ground out, and Rance Mullenix ties it up with this rip up the middle, scoring Webster. We're now knotted at 2-2 after 7 on the base hit. Then, with 1 out in the 8th and Damaso Garcia on second, Lloyd Mosby triples down the right field line just inside the chalk. Jays win it by a score of 3-2 and drop Lamar Hoyt's record to 3 wins and 5 losses. Elsewhere, wild ending in Cleveland. Indians tied with Boston here, 10-10 in the 10th inning. Jim Rice on third base. Ernie Camacho's curveball's way off. Here comes Rice. Camacho's tag is too late, and the Red Sox win it 11-10. National League now. Not too many hits to show you because Mario Soto was on the mound in Cincinnati. Reds versus Cubs. It's the 3rd inning, and you're about to see history. First, Soto strikes out Tom Verizon. Next, he'll strike out pitcher Dick Ruthven. Then he strikes out Bob Dernier, but the ball got away from the catcher and rolled to the wall, so the Cubs got another out, and so Soto struck out Ryne Sandberg for number 4 in 1 inning. Reds won it by a score of 5-3. Tigers are still the #1 story in baseball. They kick off a weekend series tonight against the Oakland A's at home with Dan Petrie on the mound. Tigers without any injuries, but they will be missing one of their key performers when they suit up for the Oakland A's tonight. Manager Sparky Anderson's father died in Riverside, California yesterday, just prior to major lung cancer surgery. He was 76 years old. Sparky flew to California last night, where he will stay there for a few days and rejoin the Tigers on Tuesday when they start their West Coast trip against the California Angels. Locally, the MSU baseball team is in Minneapolis for this weekend's Big Ten championships. Joining the Spartans in the 14 playoff are Michigan, Minnesota, and Northwestern. And the Seattle Seahawks of the National Football League have announced that they have signed MSU wide receiver Darryl Turner to a series of one-year contracts. Terms of the deal have not yet been disclosed. That's sports. This week's weather forecast is on deck.